Hi, we're back again, ELITE-ENTERTAINMENTZ, another podcast. Okay, so we've got someone who's going to talk about something I don't know much about, okay? He goes by the name of Clive, Gold Guru, okay? So basically, he's here to teach me about gold. My trusted friend on my right here.
Whose name is Tony, that you've obviously forgot. but yeah. We wanted to talk to you about kind of enlightening the general public, really.
Yeah.
With certain things that they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Options outside the traditional system.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know, and you're here.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
No, you're absolutely welcome. Thanks very much for having me. Well, as you know, I run probably the largest European gold black network. My primary goal is to educate our people about what true wealth is. Unfortunately, particularly the black community, we're at the bottom of the scale in regards to our overall knowledge on wealth and really about management on funds. As you know, we tend to have certain bad habits, and that's just due to the way we've been educated and programmed. Some will call it plantation psychosis.
Yeah.
So I just said educate our people and try and get us up there, so we are with our counterparts, you know, whether it's the whites, Jews, Indians, just try and get us to where we should be, because that's us as blacks and African, you know, deep down, we should all have the bloody gold in the world. We should be the richest. We should be at the top. So it disappoints me to know we're at the bottom, and then I just play a small part. We've placed over the last 5-6 years about 5 million or so in the black community. As you know, you've been working with me for years with predictions, and we've more than doubled our money. You know, say touch wood, but you're not meant to do that, cause the devil, as they say. But we're just grateful the High and Mighty's blessed us. My vision, I did spiritual journey coming from a financial world of in broken New York and London for 12 years, selling rubbish basically, high risk stuff. You know, when you're in the banking field, it's kind of like legalized corruption dressed in professionalism.
What does that mean?
It sounds good though, doesn't it? So it just means like, you know, how can I put it? For example, you put your money in the bank, right? Yeah. You don't own that money. Yeah, people don't know that. It's an IOU, right? As soon as it's deposited, the bank actually own it. You become a creditor of the bank. And that alone should be illegal. The fact that the stock market's overvalued, you know, rich are getting richer just due to illegal, what was once illegal activities like share buybacks. The fact that some say the government manipulate interest rates, and we think that everything's okay. So there's a lot of corruption, you know, hence why we see protests and uproar across the country like we've never seen before. So my job is to really lift the curtain and just show people the truth. And since then, you know, the people that have participated in gold, they've just seen their wealth go to the moon, and my spiritual journey is worked, as in coming from a high risk background to now giving freedom, independence and true wealth to my people. It's just been a blessing.
Okay.
So that's what we do.
I'm going to ask you to break everything down to layman's terms, because I don't know anything about hedge funds and all this kind of stuff.
Happy to explain any of that.
So basically, DJ Pepper's got, let's just say, $5,000.
Okay.
What would your advice be with that $5,000 to invest or make profit on?
Yeah, so first of all, it's about your risk appetite, and most people day and age, they don't have money to lose.
Right.
So I'd say to you, you know, are you into gambling? If you are and you just want high risk, high return, you're talking to the wrong guy. You're better off maybe gambling on Bitcoin and keeping your fingers crossed, you know. Or if you're into low risk and securing your wealth and looking for the ultimate insurance policy, then I'd say get it into gold. Yeah, because we know for 5,000 years it's always maintained its value, or certainly increases as currencies are collapsing. So my advice would be to get it into physical gold. I'd also ask whether you want to hold it short term or long term, and then we can create some form of strategy for you. But there's one good strategy at the moment, is to buy tax-free coins as an example. They're tax-free for now, particularly ones with Charles' effigy on, as in his picture, because he's going to step down as a king soon. So therefore, he'll be the shortest reigning king in history on coinage.
And how much is for one of these coins?
So coins will range from anything from £1,000 for say quarter of an ounce, or second-hand versions maybe 700-800 quid, up to 1 ounce coins, which are 3,500, 4,000, 5,000, depending on the quality of the coin.
So I've got 5 coins. My $5,000's gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. 5 coins.
Probably less. Yeah, probably, exactly. I mean, gold is very dense, and it's it's not expensive. It's actually very cheap today. Some that don't understand gold will be like, oh, I've missed out. It's gone up loads. I always miss out, and that's just a pessimist. I'm naturally an optimist. Plus, if you put the emotion aside, and that's study in the likes of, there's a book called The Psychology of Money.
Okay.
Things Urkel, and it's a white folder. Is what I recommend it to anyone to read it. And if you put the emotion aside and don't just view it like, oh, it's so high, it's gone up so much, and just study the charts, one would realise that we're just warming up.
If I brought it for 1,000 each and I've got 5 gold coins here and it's gone up, I should be happy then.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are people... Did you just say
because people that have not bought gold before and they see it's going up, they'll always procrastinate and say, "Oh, I've missed out."
I see. So I missed the boat.
Or it's too expensive. Whereas gold, the fact is, it's never been this cheap before in history relative to global debt. It's very cheap today.
Right.
So it's a gift from God to be able to buy it. And that's what we do. I represent a company called Roman Brothers, as you know, a black-owned gold business, but we deal with everybody. I'm of mixed heritage myself, so we love everybody, white, black, green, whatever colour you are, we spread the love. But we do focus on our community, because we're so kind of behind on our knowledge. So we educate at schools, from the Newman School up in North London and West London, to do other radio shows like we do here, podcasts, and just try and get the voice out for gold. So the owner is Cole Roman, who I work for, and feel free to check out the company, or Carl. And I'm in charge of operations, but he's put his name on the door because he wants to pass on a legacy to, he's got 5 boys, bless him. Don't know why. I ended up with 3 girls. I've got my beautiful daughter here as well, which is, bless me, but I'm sure God was teaching me a lesson. I have a son as well.
Okay.
But he's got 5 boys, so the goal was to pass it down to the kids. So we put our name on the door, and it's something we feel very special about.
So let me get this straight. So your company, they buy the raw gold? Or
No.
Do they buy coins and then sell them on?
So the way we work is, we're not obviously Mother Teresa. Although we've done a stunning job for our clients. I mean, we're up 40% already in the last 12 months. But it's we get the gold from the raw mint. The business model is very simple. We work with partners and sort of dealers, and we're able to get coins from the raw mint sort of below market value. We then pass them to the general public, make a small margin, and that allows us to be one of the cheapest in the country. But because we set up, because I've been in gold now several years, I've been in commodities like 30 years, but really heavy in building the community, the 6-7 years, it was imperative that we undercut our competitors. And when we set up a black-owned business, it's important that we step above our counterparts in regards to how we present ourselves, how we deliver the gold. I mean, we do things that even the raw mint don't do, such as give cotton gloves so our people can touch the gold, encapsulate coins. So we try and do the step extra, and hence why we've got superior reviews. But we're not Mother Teresa. We do make a small...
Of course you have to, it's a business. So I bought this gold. I've got 5 coins. What do I do with the gold? Just keep it in the bank?
The nice thing about... it's a good
keep
question. Because gold is low maintenance. That's the beautiful part. It's not like, you've got a couple of hard assets which are popular. Gold and property. The problem with property right now is you put your money in, you're on the radar, you're going to be taxed the hell out of. You may have a tenant which has all the rules now and all the rights. When you go to sell it, you've got to give half of it to the government, but yet they've never mowed the lawn or fixed the boiler or beat up your tenant, but they want half. And when you go to sell it, it's a nightmare. You've got to find a middleman, you've got to list it, you've got to do viewings. If I sell you gold, I just send it to you, you put it under your mattress, we give it a couple of years, then we sell it. That's it. There's no middleman.
Sounds simple.
There's no forms to fill out, and it's the most simplest thing in the world. And that's why we're seeing the likes of people in property, because as you know, property is probably going to collapse soon, filling their boots with gold as a hedge against the property, but also gold outperforms property significantly, and it has done throughout history. I'll give you an interesting statistic. So in the 1970s, you could have bought a house for $2,000, So let's say you put $2,000 in a house in the 1970s and $2,000 into gold. Well, today, that house, average house price about $500-600. So your $2,000 would have gone to $500-600, good return. But in gold it'd be 1.2 million. you know. But that's why it's a big secret. That's why it's been taken
a
out of the
secret 'cause
curriculum.
I've never
it's been
heard of
taken
it.
out. I mean, I've done business studies. It wasn't in there. I've got my exams as a New York stockbroker, my rigs and securities. Gold was never in there, and I'm meant to be a financial advisor. It's bizarre that they've removed it. It's a secret, and that's why I'm on this spiritual journey.
And why do you think that is? Why is that?
Because it's off the radar. It gives you independence and freedom. You know, the government has no control over it. You know, and it's easily lost. You know, so you know what I mean. It's something, and it's that's why it's been niche. You know, not a lot of people know. But it is our saviour. There's a reason it was written about 417 times in the Bible. It's always been the saviour. They just kept it a secret.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for. So if any of the listeners, you know, want to purchase or whatever, just reach out to Roman Brothers. We will be giving discounts to the first free that purchase and some free silver. Yeah, so we are enticing people to, and obviously through your organisation, it would be great if they can mention.
Most definitely. As well. Most definitely.
Yeah.
So do you think there's a lack of knowledge with the black community on business as a whole? Okay, excluding the gold, as business as a whole. How do you see widening it?
We have some problems. Like some people don't like what I have to say, but it's only because I deal with nearly 1,000 brothers and sisters and I manage millions of pounds. So I've seen all the characteristics. I've seen it. And I've seen some disturbing stuff.
No, that's what we're here for.
I mean, like, one idea is like, let's just say, excuse me, so disturbing, it's got me coughing. So, let's just say I've got a sister, she's given me hundreds of thousands, I've doubled her money over the years. She's done very well. And she'll be like, oh, can I introduce you to my husband or my partner? Well, the guy would come in and we'll sit there and we'll present for an hour, and he'll sit there and screw face me for an hour, you know, not be like, oh, well done for helping my sister, you know. It's more like ego takeover. Boy, it should have been me. You know, I don't know why you're dealing with him. We could have gone down Hatton Gardens and bought a chain for twice the price, and it's not real gold. You know, it's silliness.
And
like
it will also be taxed differently, right?
Jewelry is taxable. What I specialise in is completely tax free. Then you've got situations where kind of plantation psychosis, where the the black brother or sister would rather listen to a white person than listen to their own. So if a brother or sister, I find, goes to their family member or their friends and says, right, I've got some gold here, look, have a look at this. The brother or sister would be like, boy, are you sure that's real? How you know you never get rip off? You know? Whereas the white man or the white woman, who I have as clients, goes to their brother or sister or brethren and say, I bought some gold. Oh, that's brilliant. Who'd you buy that from? You know, how's that doing? You know, can you introduce me to them? You know, and it's kind of different. Now, we're not all like that. I'm not stereotyping, but I've witnessed it, I've seen this, I've heard it. So I know we need to make that change. And I've done shows talking about plantation psychosis and stuff, and it's not our fault. Reason why we're a bit like this and it's holding us back is because we bought so much crap in the past. So it goes back since the 90 days with Avon creams, you know, our parents, to, you know, they stock up more than they could sell. And then you had
sort of Ponzi stuff. Sorry, go on.
It's okay. Then you had the Choice FM Ponzi stuff with, it was a pyramid scheme. Then I can't remember the DJ, don't bait her up. And then lately we had the Hyper Fund or Hyper Universe, which was a massive crypto scam, you know, and the community have lost all their money for that. So when I had this spiritual journey, because I connected spiritually in my 40s, you know, coming from a darker side, I said, gold, you know, I learned about gold. Someone offered me a job, then I realised the monetary system was going to collapse. And I said, I can actually, no one else is doing this in the community. I can sell them something which is zero risk. I can put it in the palm of their hand. It's off the radar, and I think it's going to go to the moon. And then 3 years later, you know, we're more than double, and everything's working out really well. So yeah, that's how it all came about. Is being able to, because the reason I sold the gold is I can do these shows, I can put my face to it, because in the years to come, even if I disappear, you got your gold. Even if I shut down tomorrow, my people are protected. Whereas all the other ventures, so I'm going to sneeze, all the other ventures, if they collapse, you've lost everything. So that's why I knew it would work, and we're just growing and growing. Hence why we're here, you know, and seeing a new voice.
No, that's great.
So with that with Pepper's 5 coins.
So let's just say it goes up in value. So I know what you're going to say. I'll buy my BMW. I'll buy the classic 6 Series that over the 635 I've always looked at. So once you've got the coins, it's as liquid as water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, there's no middleman. Everywhere throughout, like London, where we are, I mean, you've got half a dozen places you can go to, and they'll give you immediate cash.
Yeah.
It's not like a property, which is nice. But because we sell the best stuff, I want it back. So if any of my clients want to sell, come back to me. Don't just go and flog your gold and then call me up and say you bought yourself a holiday or you put that deposit on the house because of me. I'd be like, where's my gold? Which has happened many a time. So I always
sell
take it
that
back.
depending on the rates.
Yeah, so we've got to give you the live price. And as gold's going up and it continues to go up throughout history, you know, and it's going to the moon right now as currency. We're in the largest currency collapse in modern day history. It's quite an epic time. This happens every 100 years. So this is a chance that if you know what you're doing, you can make a lot of money with hardly any risk. It's quite unique. That's why.
But sorry, I was going to say, also to be clear, it's, you know, we're not talking about, you know, turnover in 24 hours for 6 months. You know, these are kind of more longer term investments.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to double your money overnight, gold's not for you.
No.
You know, it's for the patient investor. But the thing is, it's going through the roof. We're in October, Is it October, So, and we're up 40% in the last 12 months. Wow. I mean, that's a big return. Our clients that put like 100 grand in, you know, even 6 months ago, you know, they've made like 20,000-30,000 tax free. It's the best performing asset class in the world right now.
That's amazing.
So there's I mean, we made 40%. Well, we're up maybe 30% from January. Last year it went up 40%. The year before it went up 20%. So we're just killing it, and it's not the gold price going up. It's just currencies are collapsing because we're printing and printing. Yeah. And it's called fiat. Fiat is a Latin term for money in circulation with no intrinsic value by force. And if you study, I study monetary history for fun. So there's been 3,000 currencies or fiat throughout history, and they've all gone to zero. And people forget, us as humans, we've got short memories, so we only look back like 10, 20 years. But in the 1920s, when the empire we lost the empire after, got to be careful, we're on radio, but after we kindly ruled the world with no violence, we lost it in 1920, and then the pound went to zero. Now that's going to happen again, quite likely. I strongly believe that, and people just don't know history. They're like, "What? It went to zero? Yeah, it did." And it's
On that pessimistic note, I'm going to stop there.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to come back because this is very interesting. Okay, all right. So stay tuned. We're coming back with some more information. Okay, so we're back, Elite Entertainment Podcast, and we've learned so much so far. You see, the second half, I want to learn a bit more. Okay, so I'm going to hand it over to my friend.
Yes. What do you need to know? You know.
Well, I want to know about my 5 coins. What's happening to them?
Okay, so let's just say, let's build a picture on what could happen based on history and without any crazy predictions, shall I say. So if you look back at the last recession, 2007, you remember that, yeah? The GFC, Great Financial Crash. It was so bad they called it the GFC, they named it. Well, the world lost about 80 billion in unrealized losses. Let's just call it losses for now. 80 billion, 80. Remember that number, okay? Because of that recession, gold went up threefold, tripled, okay? Today, we're down from 800 billion. Guess how much we're down by? Give me a number.
60.
60? Well, that'd be down, wouldn't it? That,
Has it gone up?
Yeah, the debt's increased. Because the world has become worse and worse as we print and debt increases.
100?
900.
Okay.
900. So it's gone from 80 to 900. Now, bear in mind, when it was at 80, the GFC, we lost Northern Rock. Hundreds of thousands of people lost there. Not hundreds of thousands of people.
Remember the queues outside?
That's right.
Right.
For their money.
Every few hours you get a cup of tea if you was lucky and some biscuits, only to be told days later to go home and you lost everything. So we're down 900. So I'm telling people we're going to see a banking collapse times 10. Yeah, and that's when we lost Bear Stearns and I think Lehman Brothers as well. So we're in a much worse situation. So gold logically should do more than threefold. So we're just warming up at the moment. If you go back to a more comparable time, see how much your coins will go up by, I think those coins could go from 1,000 to possibly 20 grand a coin. I think they could go up 10 or 20 fold.
How long will that take, do you think?
I think over a maybe 3, 4, 5 year period. And I'll tell you why. if you go back to a very similar period, more comparable is the 1970s. Now, I was born in 79, so I'd studied my history or talked to my brothers and sisters that are older. And it was a very similar time. And gold went up 24-fold, right? So, like, let's just say I've got a couple of rusters I deal with. They tell me the stories when they came over to London, you know, the UK or Birmingham back in the day in the 70s. And they all had chops, and big chains. Now, chops back then is like 10, 20, 30, 40 quid. You know, big old chops, you can get a nice one 50 quid, or the biggest chop for 100 quid. You know, that's how much they cost back then. The gold price went up 20-fold. So you had brothers all of a sudden buying something that cost like 40 quid to have them having thousands of pounds. So they went and bought houses, you know, most of them, unfortunately, as you know, we've got a lust for cars as I do. And they went and bought Triumphs and GV8s. And they tell me about it, you know, or they went and, you know, put their family through college or whatever it was at the time. So those guys that have seen gold go up 20-fold, they're in it big for me. You know, Clive, I sold my house, I sold everything. I'm going big because I've seen it do 20-fold, and I think, you know, it's going to do it again. And in the 70s, we're in a different world, and this is why I think your coins could go up more than 10 or 20-fold. Because in the 70s, today we have 18 times more population, so we've got much more people chasing gold. In the 70s, you didn't have the internet. If you wanted to buy gold, you'd have to traipse down some high street, you know, look for a gold merchant. You couldn't just call up. You probably there was no mobiles, there was no internet. It's not like calling me and you will go onto our website and buy them within seconds. So I think we're going to see much more, you know, much easier to buy gold. Half the world couldn't buy because they was under USSR and China was under Mao. And those regions, you either get molten lead poured down your throat if you own gold, or you get your hands chopped off. Now, these two countries are the complete opposite, even though they're being framed as being communists, even though China is a bit, but they're buying all the gold for their people and themselves. So in the Western world, in the last 10 years, while we've been concentrating on wearing masks and getting credit cards, the Chinese, the Russians, Brazil, India, China, they've been buying all the gold for their people. And that's why they're going to, you know, prosper. And
so it sounds like they know something that we don't.
Yeah, but going back to the 70s, another comparables is, I mean, there's the peanuts.
I did warn you.
Why them catch up? Did warn you. Come from nowhere. So in the 70s, like we had an energy crisis like we do today. We spend 1.3 billion a day for Russian oil. That's why they got us bent over. People don't know that, and that's a day. We had strikes like we do today. You go down every morning, you see outside the doctors or the hospital strikes. So it's very comparable. But we're in a much worse situation because in the 70s we didn't have wars. We just had little Vietnam. It was much smaller than the Middle East conflict. We didn't have Russia, Ukraine. We didn't have Sudan. I mean, the world's going through about 3 wars right now. Some say World War III. But we didn't have that in the 70s. So logically, we should do more than 20-fold. And I've got a million other reasons, but I only deal in pure logic, hence why you've been working with me for years. I always get my predictions right. And that's not because I'm a big head or I've got a crystal ball. But as Churchill says, the further you look into the past, you can predict the future. I'm not a genius, it's just adding the dots together.
Going back to Mr. Layman here, my 5 coins, I want to sell them.
Yeah.
Right.
You better have this $5 grand.
Okay, hypothetical. Okay, right.
You know I'm coming for you after. So I don't know if you've got your debit card for you, so you better be buying these.
Do you know what I mean?
I said this guy's a salesman.
Yeah.
Just a chat.
Okay. My colleague's getting your package.
Do you know what I mean?
I've already texted him already, but
What's your percentage? If I was to sell these 5 coins?
We don't charge a percentage. Our goal is to get you the best market price so you're happy. And then we will negotiate whether we take them on our books ourselves or we sell them to our existing clients or we can do a bidding war for you. So there's numerous options when you're ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your 5 coins. So let's just say, I know what you're going to say. Indeed, it's so long. So let's say it's 3, 4, 5 years down the road, and let's say you've doubled your money. Let's be conservative.
Okay.
Let's say it didn't triple like 08 and it didn't go up 20 times in 07. I just doubled your money. You're still going to love me because I doubled your money, right? Now, in a number of years, we're going to have a cheap stock market because it's going to collapse. I think the market's going to drop more than 80%. So you can go and build your pension for the future and buy cheaper stocks. The property market worldwide would have collapsed, particularly in foreign countries like the West Indies and Africa's, where we're seeing a rapid collapse in local currency. And then if you're a Jamaican example, I look after a lot of Jamaicans with my dad being Jamaican. I mean, we can, I hate using this simplistic term, but we can kill it. Because what we do is we buy the hell out of gold in sterling, and the Jamaican dollar to the pound's about just over 200, right? But when you guys were younger, and I say you guys because you're a bit older, but it used to be 2 to 1. No, there's a lot of similarities today as there was in the 70s, but we're in a much worse situation. So therefore, I think logically we're going to see gold go up, whether it's, there's more debt today, there's wars going on, we're due biggest currency collapse. We didn't have currencies collapsing in the 70s. We're due a global reset. We've got the biggest overreach in government history today, where the government can go into your bank account now and take money out of your ISA or your bank. I mean, this is why we're doing so much business, because we're getting you out of the reach of that. So I think it's going to go up more than the 70s, and I think there's a chance we can all make a lot of money. And it's down to the central banks, just follow their actions and not their words. They're buying more gold than ever before. You got JP Morgan reckon it's going to go to £7,000 an ounce. That's twice the price. You got Goldman Sachs calling for 5,000 an ounce, and every other institution. And these guys got bigger brains than me and bigger research wallets, and just follow what they're doing.
What I like about it, you got something you can hold.
Tangible, that's
right?
the magic.
Bitcoin, that's in space or something. I don't know. I don't know how that works or how you get it back.
Yeah, it's a really good point you made. So like, I'll give an example. My clients in Texas years ago, they had a blackout, and the guy had to walk through 20 meters, just go to the nearest neighbor. Anyway, he said to me, and I can't do a tax and access, but he's Clive, man, I'm a multi-millionaire in this Bitcoin stuff, but when the lights go out, man, I can't do anything with it, but with these coins, you gave me, I can go to John's house 20 minutes, give it coin to John, and he gives me food and fuel, for months. He said, with the Bitcoin stuff, I can't just give him a laptop or memory card. Like, what can I do with this? So when you have a world where we're going to have massive blackouts again, we just had France, Spain and Portugal have the biggest blackouts in modern day history. The UK had a blackout early in the year where everything went down, from NHS to your bank to your ATL, ATMs, the trains, everything went down. So remember, when that happens, you're stuck. But with gold, when the lights go out, it shines brighter.
Right.
You can't turn it off. It's got no switch. And that's why I've got the best job in the world.
Right. It's something that, as I said, I don't think our community has really heard about to the extent of what we're talking about.
I had a sister tell me once when I did a show, she called me up. She said, I never knew it was so easy I could buy gold. I thought it was for rich white people. I said, sis, I'm so glad you told me that, because so many people like you think that. And I could tell you, don't ever think that, because you are a black queen. This gold is yours. It's from your source. I mean, we have gold actually in us. And I said, it's more yours than anybody else. And she was like, I know.
So with this £5,000 or 5 gold coins,
that he's investing,
hypothetically,
for an ordinary person, can you throw some ideas about where somebody could keep that? Because some people might want to keep it in their home or other places, because I think that's something that people think
the whole ethos of what we do is to have the wealth in the palm of your hand. So you are king or queen of your own wealth. That's where we want to put you.
Just buy a safe.
And you can have a safe. I mean, we help people build internal safes in their house under your floor. But gold is so dense, you can hold 100 grand in the palm of your hand. Whereas £100,000, that's a little bag. So it's so dense, it's so easy to store. And I'm not going to mention it on a live show, but if you were to talk to me on a one-to-one, I could talk to you about 5 grand's worth of coins. I mean, you could hold it in your wallet. You won't even know. It's there's many places. It's so dense. It's really transportable and easy to store. That's the beauty.
Your name's changed now. We're going to call you Goldfinger.
I got to say, Supreme FM. I think it's Supreme up in Peckham. When I do the show with DJ Jammer and Abu. I don't know if you know them. Yeah, they call me Goldfinger as well.
Oh, right, okay.
I think that's a good name for you.
I like it. But no, reach out to Roman Brothers. Obviously mention working with Elite as well. It's important to just mention them. We are going to give away free silver to the first 3 listeners, and we'll give discounts to any of the Elite listeners as well. We're here to help. And also we have affiliating programs, like yourself, if anyone has a network, or even for us to talk for free. I mean, I don't charge schools for me to teach our youth about gold. I do it from my heart, which surprises a lot. But, just let us know if we want to continue to get the message out, because no one's doing what we're doing.
Right. Clive, we've come to the end of this show. Okay.
All right, get your check.
My brain is working all kinds of things. I'm thinking all kinds of things now. Where to put this $5,000? Either in drink, diamonds or gold.
Well, it's a good question.
You put a good case.
Yeah, drinks are collapsing. So from whiskey to wine, the market's collapsing. It always does when you have a global recession because it's a luxury. Yeah, like cigars.
Yeah.
Diamonds, it's all fake. It's manipulated by De Beers.
Yeah.
The Earth can produce a diamond through carbon compression.
Yeah.
The Earth can't produce gold. It's a fact. Gold is from our solar system. That's why I talk so passionate about it.
You hear this man saying you where gold is coming from, okay? And this is something that we as a community need to buy. We need to get into this stuff.
You don't have to buy it through me. I mean, we built a very good network, we've got a good track record, good reviews, but just go and buy it somewhere else. Just make sure you're out the system and you're free. And I believe that there's not only a chance to protect your wealth and protect your legacy below you and actually make a difference in the generations. Too many of us blacks are parents and grandparents, we just witnessed it the other day, just passing a load of debt to us. You know, or a load of shack somewhere. But it's about passing over true wealth now, and that's where we need to make the difference in our society. Yeah, brilliant. So thanks for having me in this beautiful home. I had the best food as well. That's the only reason I stayed. It's been great. Thanks for having us.
No problem. So we're going to do a cookery program soon. So Tony's doing the cooking.
I've got my Tupperware ready.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks for coming, Clive. And that's a brilliant. Contact Elite Entertainment. Okay, get your discount. And let's buy up all this gold, man. Okay. So bye from me.
Catch you later. Thanks for watching.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.